Hello, it is Friday, January 20th, 2012 at 3:46 a.m. Central Standard Time. And a couple days ago on the 18th, I saved some loops regarding two small earthquakes that occurred near the New Madrid seismic zone, or actually they're in the New Madrid seismic zone. And there were also a few other earthquakes around right at that period also. Let me go over to, I've got quite a few things open, so if I get the wrong thing, please forgive me. Here's a shot of Google Earth, and I want to show you that this is where the, is this the first one? No, this is the first one. It happened, it was a 1.9, it happened at 9:54 UTC, and then the second one occurred at 11:29 UTC, and that was a 1.6. And then I wanted to show you, point out also that this is New Madrid here. See this little loop? It's really hard to see, but New Madrid's at the top of that little loop. So going over to the College Edu page, something interesting that I found, that this is 11:15 UTC, which is about 14 minutes before the first, well no, before the second earthquake. So it's after the first one, which happened approximately at 10, and then this is the one that happened, this is right in between there. But if you go all the way in here to Alaska, there's this little white dot, and I know it doesn't seem like much, but the position of that dot is pretty interesting. Over on Google Earth, I've got the HARP, a high frequency antenna array, highlighted here, and then the HIPAS scatter near Fairbanks, and the AMISR PFSR at Poker Flat. And it just, this is really close to where that white dot is, you know, especially after having to zoom in all that way. See, it's right here. So it's, well, here's halfway, so it's short of halfway. And then if you go over here to Google Earth, you know, halfway's about here. So it could be this one right here. And so I want to show that to you. Yikes. Steering faster. I can't always drive so good. Looks like I have some other information attached here. High Power Auroral Stimulation Observatory, HIPAS, Fairbanks, Alaska. Let's go in and look at it here. It is pretty interesting looking. You've got this, let's get north back up. I kind of turned it so it'd be easier to match up to that other one. But, and now we got this big orange thing in the way. Anyway, there's these lines that come out. See here? I'm not quite sure how it works, but we're going to go in and look at the building a little closer. So that's at that same location. So I'm not sure exactly what this does, but that is in the same spot that this white dot appears on the satellite image. Let me unzoom here. And this is visible satellite. And what I want to do is zoom in now on the New Madrid area. This is right here, that little loop is New Madrid. And then the earthquake was right in here and right in here. I want to show you that this is all after the earthquake. But we get this, what I call satellite ring, and it falls right exactly on the New Madrid, the town of New Madrid, at 14:45. Remembering that the second earthquake happened at 11:29, so this is a few hours later. But it's right, I mean, it's right there. And then what's really interesting is just watching these clouds that come through afterwards, which I want to talk about. I'm going to kind of click through here, because you can see the striations. They're very, they have a lot of the ripples. Let me get keep going through, which would be like high frequency type waves. or scalar type waves going through them or along with them. And then also look at all these little X's in here. These would be chemtrails, which are particulates that are put in the air that the waves have to interact with. But again, remembering this is after the earthquakes. And then going a little further out view, again looking at visible satellite. I'm going to go ahead and let this start through because we had more satellite rings happening right here. This one happened at, that's the one right at New Madrid. I'm going to zoom in here. So I want you to look at these clouds. Hopefully you can see it. Going backwards, this loop starts at 1415. Take this down a little bit. And notice that these clouds seem to be just kind of normal. And now we get this ring thing that goes through. And then now look how immediately we start getting striations in the clouds. And then there's a second ring that shows up at 1645, and it seems to even get worse. And then these are approaching New Madrid, which is right up in here. And then there was another satellite ring that I haven't seen these for a while actually. This one's at 2131 on January 18th. And that's kind of where that earthquake was in Texas too. I don't think it falls right on it though. And then here's that funny little cloud that passes by. And then going over here to even further out view, a visible satellite, you can see we have these huge rings that showed up going down in the Gulf, and that happened at 1345 UTC. And I think, yeah, this goes back to when the earthquakes happened, but as you can see, it was nighttime. So we're not going to catch anything. Even if I had been watching, we wouldn't have caught it because it was nighttime. Going back to a different view, I'll let this play all the way through one more time, although it's mostly night, but you can see the rings appearing again. And then this is a view of the southern states below the New Madrid. Here's New Madrid right here. And you can see there was also a lot of chemtrailing right in here. Let me zoom in. A lot of it. I mean, look at all these X's. That's one of your clues. Then unzooming. And we're going to watch that cloud going through again in the rings. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. And here's the striations coming through in this set of clouds. I've got these blocked out because it's nighttime, so you don't have to wait for it to go through all the blackness. And so kind of watch this set of clouds that goes through, because right over here, this is the infrared satellite. And it's going to also, we'll see the rings, the striations, and then that cloud carrying through further. See how it kind of goes here into Tennessee. Because what I have over here is radar, and this radar goes from 2:14 through 5 o'clock on January 19th. So this is well after the earthquakes, but what we have showing up is right in here. We have those same clouds showing up that just went through the New Madrid area. And I want you to watch what happens to them. They're right in here. And I'll zoom in just a minute. But see how when they hit this end of Tennessee, how they all light up? And I went in looking in this area, looking for wind farms or something. I did not find any. That doesn't mean they're not there, but I didn't find any visible means of, something electrical that would light up like that. So let me zoom in so you can see. And I know this is hard to see, but watch these clouds moving through, because there's a bunch of these clouds moving through different areas. And I don't know what would be in them, because this doesn't light up until they hit them. Well, they went through this Doppler here too. Maybe that has something to do with it. And then I also wanted to show you, this is on January 18th, 2012 at 12 GMT, which is right after the second small earthquake, that the jet stream was right over the New Madrid area. And it's right in here. And then let's see, this is 6 hours, no, 12 hours after that. So going back, this is when it happened, and then this is where the jet stream, the position it moved into. And the jet stream came right over the New Madrid. Well, actually, it was in transition. It's because it's really in between here and here, right in here. So I think I showed you everything. Sorry it took me so long to do this, but I just didn't feel like I was ready till now. So God bless you. Have a good rest of the night.